I have the gun, I have the badge, and I have the power, he said, as he forcefully knocked down my Diet Coke, put me in handcuffs, and pushed me in the back of the cop car. A couple months away from graduating from the University of Oklahoma, I had gone to have a sandwich with a couple girlfriends. On our way back to our sorority house, we go to drive behind the building to get to the street that our house is on. And as we turn to go around the building, there's a cop car blocking the alleyway. So my friend, Shepherd, as we lovingly called her, stops, and we take a beat. We're curious. This is weird. What in the world's going on? And we see a police officer going up the side of a house on these stairs outside this building, and we're like, okay, maybe we want to get out of here. So we do, and we head down another street. Within a second, cop pulls us over. I'm sitting in the back seat. What in the world? Trust me, Shepherd and Fabian and I, we've done a lot of things in those 4 years to maybe warrant a rear. This was not one of them. Comes up to the car, has her roll down her window. I need to see your ID. And she's all nervous. She's smoking her cigarette, as one did in the mid-90s in college. And she's laughing because she's so nervous. What did we do? I need to see your ID. So she gives it to him. And I am just sitting in the back, slowly feeling this incensed rage starting to build. Then he goes around and he asks Amy for her ID. She hands it to him. Incensed rage building. Oh, he better not ask for mine. I'm sitting in the back seat, drinking my fountain drink Diet Coke, just had a sandwich. He better not ask for mine. Tells me to roll down the window, ask for my ID, and I say, why? We did nothing wrong. Exchange continues, something that sounds very similar to exactly what I just said. I need your ID. Why? We did nothing wrong. I need your ID. Why? We did nothing wrong. Next thing I know, opens the car door, pulls me out, handcuffs me back of the car. As I'm sitting in the back of his police car, headed to the police station on this Saturday afternoon, I have two thoughts running through my mind and my body. The first one is, oh boy, he's gonna call my dad. The second one is, what in the hell? And I could feel this sensation in my body that I had felt many times throughout my life. You all know the image of the little girl, she's called the Fearless Girl statue in front of the bull on Wall Street. She was put there as a symbol of women's empowerment. She has her ponytail and she's looking at this bull, and the bull is like 3 times the size of her, and she's like this. And I look back at myself through my childhood, and that's how I felt. During the HIV epidemic, when my uncle's friends were dying, and my uncle had HIV, and our government was not willing to spend the money on research. When my dad told me the story about living in Mobile, Alabama, being in middle school, when the very first day that a black little girl and her black little brother came to go to the school, and he witnessed the firemen, the police officers, and the journalists with their cameras turn their backs as a bully came running around the corner, whipping those little kids until they ran back in their parents' car and left. I felt incensed when I learned about the Holocaust. Where were the people? Where were the people? How in the world could this happen? And of course, it seemed like many moons, like that was way back then. That was about the same distance, the Holocaust to the age I was at that time, to where I am now, compared to where I was when I got thrown in the back of a cop car. My dad comes to the police station. Oh, one important fact. As he's throwing me in the back of the car, I say, "You're gonna regret this. My dad's an attorney." And he quipped some stupid comment, and in the back of the cop car I go. So here comes my father, who is an attorney, who has a special card, which means he can get in the back and talk to this police officer. When we're leaving, I say to my dad, "Dad, what did he say to you?" He said, he repeated over and over, "I have the gun, I have the badge, and I have the power," to my father. The same thing he said to me over and over again. "I have the gun, I have the badge, and I have the power." You have no idea how much I wish I could look that little fucker in the eye right now. There was no power. There was abuse of power. My father did what fathers did at the time, and probably what my husband would do today, and he gave me a lecture. You have to respect authority. You're going to be getting out of school and going into the corporate world in a couple of months. You can't talk that way to your boss. You have to show respect. Respect or obedience? I didn't know any of that at the time. I felt ashamed. I felt ashamed, and I've rarely told this story because I didn't live my life, even as a child, walking around like I was a privileged, wealthy white girl. I didn't want to be that. I knew that we were all one. I knew it even though I didn't have those words. That's where my incensed came from. I don't understand. This doesn't make sense. That someone can't love who they want to love. That someone has to be treated the way that they're treated because of the color of their skin, because we could kill people. For what? Abuse of power. Well, what I know now is that I was put here on this earth at this time. And while I have been coaching women to be courageously ourselves for the last 10 years, I've come to realize that I am to a point in my life where who am I? Who would I be? To ask of the women that I coach to have a hard conversation with their boss, to start their business, to stand up to injustice, to be courageous, if I am not being my most courageous self. The little girl that I was saw the world that she did so I could be here today. And to say, we all have this golden, powerful light, our essence of who we are, our strengths, our gifts, our intuition. We're here on this earth in this lifetime at this time. And I know in many lifetimes I have been killed, murdered, burned at the stake for speaking truth to injustice. So how dare I in this one, when I have privilege? I look back at the time I was ashamed of for being the snotty little sorority white girl and saying that to that police officer. I've always been embarrassed and ashamed. But now I look back and I realize I was using the power I had. And while I got the lecture from my father that was appropriate or not, that officer got reprimanded, he got suspended. Privilege, power works. So in this world, in centuries, where power over has made all of us feel and stay small, where all of this conditioned thinking that, yes, of course we have these incidences in our lives where mom said this, dad said this, trauma happened here, and we internalize our personal limiting beliefs, they are coming from the system. That's why we all share the same ones. That's why we have the same limiting beliefs that are saying, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed. I'm too busy. There's not enough time. I'm afraid. The statue of the bull and the little girl is way out of proportion. That bull isn't 3 times the size of the little girl. And the power that seems so perilous and scary right now, because it is to many people, is not power. It is weakness. It is smallness. And I realize in all my past lives when I've been burnt at the stake to speak truth to injustice, that I was speaking from here. How dare you? Why can't you see it right? Like using my voice and trying to be as powerful seeming as they are. But I know now that my assignment in this lifetime is to speak the truth to your power and yours and ours and yours. That light inside of us that is calling you to grow, to get bigger, to speak to more people, to have hard conversations, to do the thing that you feel in the depths of your soul is calling you to do, that is your power. And when all of us are willing to rise in our power, that is how we shrink the bull. And I'll end with this. There are a lot of people who can't do that right now. There are a lot of people that are afraid to even leave their homes. I know that my experience of being thrown in the cop car, that there are many people in this, ever, not just in this day and age, that could have never done what I did. They would have been killed. But I can. And how dare I not be courageous enough to speak truth to power. Thank you.